Illegal aliens competing with Americans for scarce homes is one of the most significant drivers of home price.
I don't think this is true. We've tried it, we've tested it, and found the explanation wanting. Here's a supply and demand graph giving the rough story of what Vance is saying, and there is some logic to it. He's saying if we decrease the demand for housing, we should see a decline in the equilibrium price for homes. And sure, that's what you would say with one curve shifting. But when it comes to population and immigration, they are both producers in our economy as well as demanders in the economy. They affect both demand and supply. If it's the case that deportation disproportionately harms the supply side of home construction, you will end up seeing higher prices for homes in net, not the lower prices. That's just theory. Let's go out into the real world and see if it's true. At the end of the W. Bush administration, they rolled out this Secure Communities program, which linked the databases between local and federal immigration authorities. And luckily for us and the purposes of science, they rolled out this program in a staggered way. So we had communities that were treatments and communities that were control happening at the same time. This allows us to control for any macro effects, such as the financial crisis that was going on for the first few years of this program. That's going to affect both the treatment and the control group equally. We can net out that with some basic statistics. And we find what we might expect. There is a decline in the non-citizenship share of the workforce in these areas. Interestingly, though, over here, there is a negative effect on US-born workers as well. Something about these deportations also caused a decline for US-born workers. The authors note undocumented labor supply acts as a complement to domestic labor rather than being a substitute. And this happens along the skill dimension. If a shortage of low-skilled labor makes it more difficult to find workers to finish framing a house, this will also reduce the demand for electricians and plumbers, which will be more likely domestic-born workers. So they test this. They break out the sample according to skill level. Here is the decline in lower education foreign-born workers, and they're slightly being replaced with US-born lower-skilled workers. However, the construction industry sees a decline in US-born higher-skill worker as well. Less houses being built means lower demand for construction workers, which means lower wages for even the US-born construction workers. So let's test the price. Is the situation like this, where the demand effects are stronger, we see a net decline in the price for housing? Or is the situation like this, where the supply effects are stronger, leading to a net increase in the price of housing? It's not good, y'all. The price of housing increased after the deportations. Number one problem with housing affordability is the lack of housing construction. We dramatically reduced the construction of it over a decade ago, and we are now reaping the consequences of those decisions. If we care about home prices in America, we need to increase the quantity of construction and construction workers, not deport them.